Calgary, Parks Canada and the owners of Banff's Sunshine Village Resort are in a tussle over proposed parking changes to the year-round tourist site. Sunshine Village sits about 143 kilometers west of Calgary, inside Banff National Park. The owners of the resort lease the land it occupies from Parks Canada. The 42-year lease is set to expire in 2020. Parks Canada and the owners of Banff's Sunshine Village Resort are in a tussle over proposed parking changes to the year-round tourist site, Banff Sunshine Village, the Canadian press, as the ski resort is set to renew its lease in 2020. The owners aren't pleased with how the federal agency is asking it to expand its capacity. Banff Sunshine Village, the Canadian press, frequency of use and environmental impact are the resort's two other concerns with a new parking structure. Banff Sunshine Village, the Canadian press, as part of the lease renewal process, Parks Canada is asking the resort to complete site guidelines. The guidelines are required for all national park ski areas. They help protect the park environment and visitor experience by setting environmental standards, and by limiting future growth and development, according to a fact sheet on the guidelines from Parks Canada. When a ski area operator and Parks Canada agree to a finalized version, those guidelines are attached to the new 42-year lease, the fact sheet says. Article continued below. Sunshine Village is the last ski area to complete site guidelines, according to the fact sheet. Among Parks Canada's proposed changes with which Sunshine disagrees is how the resort ought to expand its parking capacity. The federal agency calls for an increase in peak daily skier capacity, from 6,500 daily skiers to 8,500 daily skiers, which in turn would affect parking. Sunshine's marketing and brand coordinator, Kendra Scurfield, said that the resort's current parking lot, located at its base, can hold up to about 1,400 vehicles. That equates to about 4,500 people, she said. The remaining 2,000 people is made up by skiers and snowboarders using free transit from Banff for parking their vehicles on the access road, called Sunshine Road, leading up to the base site. Parks Canada has suggested a big, monstrous parking garage that would essentially be over 1,000 parking stalls. We think it would be a bit of an eyesore, Scurfield said. She said she thinks it would be bigger than the parkade at the Calgary International Airport. But Scurfield admitted she doesn't know how many stalls are in the airport parkade. Article continued below. She also said Parks Canada hasn't shown Sunshine architectural renderings or building measurements for such a proposed structure. Frequency of use and environmental impact are the resort's two other concerns with such a structure, she said. It's only used for about 50 days of the year, at peak skier capacity, so it would sit empty for over 310 days of the year, Scurfield said. As part of the Healy Creek Wildlife Corridor, the resort's base site is a regular movement route for wildlife passing through the area, she added, which can include the current parking lot. A concrete, parkade-type structure would disrupt that wildlife movement, she said. Sheila Louie, who's the acting field unit superintendent with Parks Canada and Banff, underscored that parkade size and number of stalls haven't been specified in the site guidelines. Along with a parkade at Sunshine's base, Parks Canada has proposed increasing mass transit, and/or additional terraced parking off of Sunshine's existing parking lot, Louis said. She said that the three options aren't mutually exclusive to each other. Sunshine can use any or all of them. As an alternative to a 1,000-stall parkade, Sunshine has proposed a smaller, 200-stall parking structure at its base site along with a 700-stall parking lot, about halfway down our access road, Scurfield said. That 700-stall lot is outside of the resort's leased land area, Louis noted. We haven't specified how they have to solve it. The site guidelines give them some options. And it's up to the operator to determine which of those options they want to pursue and to what degree, the superintendent added. Sunshine's ask for parking stalls outside of its lease area would effectively increase the size of the ski area, Louis said. Hence, the site guidelines propose a 15% lease reduction to Sunshine Village to allow the operator to pursue other types of development in the future that wouldn't typically be allowed, such as water reservoirs, increased parking, new terrain development and widening, reconfiguring the ski out, the fact sheet says. Sunday marked the end of a 60-day public input period during which Parks Canada gathered feedback on its proposed changes for the ski resort. The next step is for Parks Canada to present Sunshine with finalized site guidelines, based on the public feedback, and for Sunshine to present the public with its long-term plan, also seeking public input, Louis said. Sunshine Village has created its own online website with information and details about the proposed changes to the area's site guidelines. Evan Radford is a reporter, photographer for Star Metro Calgary. Follow him on Twitter, @Evan.